To ease the stress of worrying about his office romance being discovered, Qian Heng lights incense and plays music to help himself relax. Bao Rue, Yu Fei thinks Qian Heng's behavior is strange. Lin Fengwan shares her story with Cheng Yao in detail. She was married to Ming for several years, and they had a good relationship but no children. At a class reunion, Lin Fengwan got drunk, and Lu Jian, who used to have a crush on her, took her to a hotel and forced her into having sex. A month later, Lin Fengwan discovered she was pregnant, but she was too scared to tell Ming. When the baby was born, Ming realized the child wasn't his and left. Lin Fengwan soon received divorce papers. Things got worse when the baby was diagnosed with a congenital disease, which required expensive treatment. She tried to reach out to Lu Jian, who was preparing to get married, and denied ever having a relationship with her. Qian Heng takes on a new case that requires joint handling in a different location. Before leaving, he finds out that the lawyer he will be working with is Liang Yiran. According to Bao Rue, Liang Yiran is like the female version of Qian Heng. Bao Rue takes a photo and shares it in their WeChat group. Wu Jun calls Cheng Shi, but the call fails. He checks her phone's location and sees that she's in a remote suburb. Worried that Deng Ming might be causing trouble again, Wu Jun quickly calls the driver and heads to the suburbs. When he arrives, he hears Cheng Shi yelling and rushes into a house without hesitation. It turns out Cheng Shi wasn't kidnapped, she was just avoiding a mouse. Wu Jun wanted to play the hero, but he ended up hiding behind Cheng Shi. Despite knowing Wu Jun is usually timid, Cheng Shi realizes how much she means to him since he came to the suburbs alone late at night just for her. Cheng Shi decides to accept Wu Jun's affection. The next day, she picks him up for dinner to thank him. When Lin Fengjuan's case goes to trial, Lu Jian's lawyer is Deng Ming. Deng Ming dismisses Cheng Yao as inexperienced and is confident of winning. During the trial, Deng Ming presents evidence showing Lu Jian has azoospermia, making it impossible for Lin Fengwan to have gotten pregnant by him. This unexpected move leaves Cheng Yao stunned and speechless. Lin Fengwan, furious, grabs Lu Jian's forged medical certificate and tears it to pieces. Cheng Yao feels a bit disappointed, having underestimated Deng Ming's deceitfulness. She loses ground due to the false evidence. Using this setback as a starting point, she begins researching azoospermia online and calls a doctor for more information. During her call, Qian Heng turns on the apartment camera and overhears her conversation. He mistakenly thinks Cheng Yao is seeking medical advice for him and reassures her that he has no issues. Worried that Cheng Yao might misunderstand the photo of him with Liang Yiran, he preemptively explains that the woman in the photo is a co-handling lawyer. Before leaving, Qian Heng didn't know who he would be teaming up with. He tells Cheng Yao that if she doesn't like him working with female lawyers, he won't take on such cases in the future. Cheng Yao finds this amusing. Qian Heng explains that it's mainly because he cares about her and doesn't want any issues to arise between them. Qian Heng asks about Lin Fengjuan's case, offering to help find a solution when he returns if it's too challenging. However, Cheng Yao feels she can't always rely on others and decides to contact the hospital first. The next day at work, Cheng Yao asks Yu Fei to pretend to be part of a child-free couple and visit the hospital that issued the fake certificate to Lu Jian. Tanning agrees, believing any method is worth trying to solve the case. Yu Fei then discovers online that Lu Jian is one of the shareholders of the hospital that issued the false medical certificate, making this approach unfeasible. Lu Jian is aware that Cheng Yao is still gathering evidence, so he consults Deng Ming about their next move. Deng Ming instructs his assistant to stir up public opinion online, accusing Lin Fengwan of being morally corrupt. By creating public pressure on Lin Fengwan, they hope to force her to drop her complaints and resolve the matter quickly. After public opinion online escalates, Lin Fengwan calls Cheng Yao and expresses her decision to withdraw the lawsuit, feeling unfortunate and resigned to her fate. Cheng Yao quickly tasks Yu Fei with drafting a lawyer's letter and asks Tan Ying to capture screenshots of the defamatory posts. She rushes to Lin Fengjuan's residence. Meanwhile, Deng Ming calls Cheng Shi, but Wu Jun, who is helping fix a light, advises Cheng Shi not to answer. Deng Ming then texts Cheng Shi, urging her to protect her sister. Familiar with Deng Ming's tactics, Cheng Shi rushes to Lin Fengjuan's residence with Wu Jun. Lin Fengwan has black eyes from being beaten by a group claiming to be Min's friends. Cheng Yao suspects Deng Ming orchestrated the attack. Unaware of the truth, some villagers curse at Lin Fengwan's door. When Cheng Yao steps outside, she's splattered with dirt. She arrives with police to disperse the crowd. Cheng Yao then takes Lin Fengwan to a hotel for safety. Qian Heng, Bao Rue, and Liang Yiran hold their first case analysis meeting, which ends early due to their similar vigorous and professional work styles. Liang Yiran suggests they celebrate with dinner, and Bao Rue agrees. Meanwhile, Qian Heng becomes anxious upon seeing news of Deng Ming fabricating false evidence, prompting him to leave the conference room early to call Yu Fei to find out the situation. Cheng Yao goes to the storage room to review threatening letters Qian Heng had received previously, discovering that he had faced similar challenges. Inspired by Qian Heng's resilience, she resolves not to give up either. Qian Heng takes his complaint about Deng Ming's false evidence directly to President Zhang of the Lawyers Association. Recognizing Qian Heng's integrity, President Zhang is momentarily speechless and calls Wu Jun for advice. Wu Jun quickly arrives at the Lawyers Association and recommends an investigation into the matter. He proposes a deal. Qian Heng will fund the development of a new initiative in exchange for the investigation. Impressed by Wu Jun's adaptability and sincerity, President Zhang agrees to the proposal. Qian Heng picks up Cheng Yao from work, surprising her. Just as they are about to get into the car, Bao Rue happens to pass by and asks to ride with them. Qian Heng wants to treat Cheng Yao to dinner, and Bao Rue insists on joining them. While enjoying hot pot, Bao Rue opens his suitcase to show Cheng Yao the video of Liang Yiran analyzing the case. To his dismay, he discovers that his wallet is missing. He recalls taking it out at the airport earlier, but isn't overly concerned because airports are under surveillance. Cheng Yao is reminded that courts also have surveillance systems, sparking an idea. She loses her appetite and heads home alone to prepare for her plan. The next morning, Qian Heng rushes back to the joint case handling location on an early flight. He proposes to shorten the originally planned 4-day meeting to just 2 days, with extended 12-hour sessions each day. His goal is to ensure he can return in time for the start of Lin Fengwan's case. Liang Yiran notices Qian Heng's anxiety and refrains from probing further. In court, when Deng Ming steps out, Cheng Yao discreetly follows him. She adopts a different approach, apologizing to Deng Ming for any past misunderstandings and even addressing him as her brother-in-law. Deng Ming finds this sudden change unsettling, suspecting Cheng Yao's gesture stems from fear of losing the case and a need to appear conciliatory. Despite her inner reservations, Cheng Yao goes along with it, offering Deng Ming refreshments after the court session to quench his thirst. During the trial, the lawyers argue, and Lu Jian finds it all incomprehensible and feels bored, even sleepy. Eventually, the presiding judge rules against Lin Fengwan. Deng Ming and Lu Jian are thrilled and leave the courtroom, opening drinks to celebrate. After just a few sips, Lu Jian suggests treating Deng Ming to an expensive meal, and they discard their drinks into a nearby trash can. As they turn away, they notice several people in white coats collecting drink bottles from the trash can. Deng Ming rushes forward in a futile attempt to intervene, but it's too late. It dawns on him then that he has been deceived. Just as this unfolds, Cheng Shi and Wu Jun arrive at the scene. Observing Cheng Yao's confidence and Deng Ming's humiliation, they feel quite satisfied. On their way home, Wu Jun asks Cheng Shi why she didn't expose Deng Ming's scheme publicly. Cheng Shi explains that she finds Deng Ming utterly repulsive. She simply wanted to sever ties with him early on. Qian Heng comes back early to surprise Cheng Yao, sensing her worry over not being able to defeat Deng Ming. He prepares comforting words. As Cheng Yao recounts the events, Qian Heng realizes he had been overly concerned. Cheng Yao then makes a request. If she wins the lawsuit, she wants Qian Heng to promise her something. She suggests they wear matching couple necklaces. Qian Heng feels it's not really his thing, but eventually agrees to cook for Cheng Yao instead. After they return to the apartment, Qian Heng asks for a reward. Cheng Yao kisses him. Later, Cheng Yao experiences a sudden severe stomachache. Qian Heng rushes her to the hospital where she is diagnosed with acute gastroenteritis. The doctor advises Qian Heng to ensure Cheng Yao maintains a careful diet. A few minutes later, Qian Heng's mother rushes to the hospital to visit Cheng Yao and accuses Qian Heng of not taking good care of her. Cheng Yao quickly explains that she doesn't blame Qian Heng, but Qian's mother refuses to listen. After returning home from the hospital, he prepares millet porridge thoughtfully and feeds it to Cheng Yao himself. Later, Qian's mother visits the apartment and brings a variety of carefully prepared medicinal meals. Cheng Yao can't eat them all, but she appreciates Qian's mother's kindness and thoughtfulness. Under Qian Heng's attentive care, Cheng Yao quickly recovers and returns to work. She receives the good news of Lin Fengwan winning her case. Qian Heng praises Cheng Yao at a company meeting and assigns her new cases, including a high-profile family trust matter based on her recent success. Bao Rue also notices Cheng Yao's rapid progress. As Jun Heng's second team-building event approaches, Cheng Yao and Qian Heng go shopping together to prepare, enjoying their time together. Back at the apartment, Qian Heng suggests Cheng Yao get some rest while he packs the luggage. The next day, everyone eagerly heads to the outdoor team-building venue. Cheng Yao wonders why Wu Jun isn't with them. Tan Ying explains that Wu Jun will arrive later with an important guest. The bus stopped at the tourist reception area, which is a distance from the main attraction. The facilitator announces that to engage every Cheng Yao employee physically, they'll walk to the destination. The first group to arrive will win a luxurious suite, while the last group will have to camp in tents. The 5 of them walk together as a group. Shortly after, Tan Ying pretends to twist her ankle and suggests the others go ahead without her. Cheng Yao understands Tan Ying's plan, but Bao Rue and Qian Heng are unaware. The 3 of them continue walking ahead. Bao Rue starts chanting motivational slogans while Qian Heng takes Cheng Yao and quietly turns a corner, leaving Bao Rue behind. Qian Heng and Cheng Yao stroll to a lavender manor and pause to admire the stunning scenery. Suddenly, rain begins to fall. They wait for it to pass. Qian Heng, concerned about Cheng Yao's shoes getting wet, offers to carry her on his back. They finally reach their destination, but are announced as the last group to arrive. Meanwhile, Bao Rue secures first place and wins the right to stay in a luxurious suite with 2 rooms. However, feeling it would be wasteful to stay alone, he tries to find someone to share the suite with, but no one agrees, causing him embarrassment. He then asks Cheng Yao in a pitiful tone, and she, feeling sympathetic, agrees to share the room with Bao Rue. Wu Jun finally takes Cheng Shi there. Wu Jun publicly invites Cheng Shi to join Qian Heng, but Cheng Shi declines the offer, saying she just wants to focus on a good public interest case at the moment. They visit the night market to enjoy the beautiful scenery. When they see delicious food, they stop. Qian Heng understands Cheng Yao's gaze and generously pays for everyone. Cheng Yao and Qian Heng walk around for some time. Bao Rue suggests drinking to celebrate his first place. The 4 of them sit around the table and drink a lot of alcohol. Later, Cheng Yao gets drunk. She gets up to go to the restroom alone, and unconsciously walks to the place where she and Qian Heng were enjoying the scenery in the afternoon. Qian Heng happens to be nearby, and calls Bao Rue to inquire about Cheng Yao. Bao Rue realizes Cheng Yao has been gone from the table for over half an hour, and they split up to search for her. Qian Heng locates Cheng Yao first, and she passes out into his arms. Bao Rue, Yufei, and Tan Ying arrive and see Qian Heng and Cheng Yao together, feeling awkward to ask about the situation. Qian Heng boldly acknowledges their relationship and hopes it won't lead to gossip. After escorting Cheng Yao back to her room, Qian Heng returns to the tent. Later that night, Cheng Yao, still drunk, finds her way to the tent and falls asleep there.